It's fall. School is in full swing. And if you look around 360 degrees in every direction, all you see are fields of little kids playing soccer. The air is that crispy feel in the fall, and the sky is that special shade of blue reserved for October. If you have a kid who's at least 4 years old or a grandkid, and you live in Northern Virginia, you probably know this scene. So at first glance for me that day, it was all sunshine and roses. The coach's wife of our team had tie-dyed our girls' soccer shirts, and they all had their hair tied up in ribbons, and their ponytails were flying through the air as they ran down the field. And all the proud parents are sitting on the sidelines, drinking their coffee and cheering on their 7-year-old girls. Except, wait, was that an elbow? The little girl from the other team is laying on the ground looking a little dazed. Who is that girl who's steamrolling the rest? Oh, she's my daughter. Do all parents get so uptight about their kids and think about them this much? In my mind, she's the tallest. She's the fastest. She's loud, and she likes to voice every injustice that she's suffered. If you're watching her on the soccer field, you will likely see a collision, and you will definitely see full speed running without a second thought about whether anyone is in her way, whether it's an opponent or a teammate. So this is exhilarating to watch, but it's also a pit in my stomach. So every one of these collisions makes my stomach do another flip-flop. And I'm often wondering, if she were a boy, would I be so uptight? And a big part of me watching her, even though I do love and respect how she plays, wants to just scream out, "Play nice." And it's a little hard to describe why I feel conflicted about either yelling out "playing nice" or staying quiet. But I think it has something to do with something we can all relate to, which is the idea of raising strong and independent women. And that's something I really want for my daughter, of course. But the thing is, when I'm out in public with Carly, my daughter, I don't get the sense that the rest of the world feels that way about her. So she's constantly being told to quiet down, sit still, play nice. And so I know that elbows on the soccer field is maybe crossing the line, but a big part of me really wants to instill that passion and drive and energy. So that day I decided to just stay quiet. So a couple of weeks ago, we were celebrating my mom's 70th birthday, and my sister brought over the game Pie Face. I don't know if anyone is familiar with this game. Okay, let me tell you what it is. So essentially the idea is not to get pie in your face, and pie in this game is usually substituted with whipped cream. Okay, so it comes with this little device, and you put your chin on a little shelf, and there's a lever out in front of you and a little plastic hand on the end, and you put your whipped cream on the hand. And there's 2 handles attached to the lever. So the idea is you pull a card, it has a number on it, and that's the number of times you turn the handle, and it may or may not make the lever come up and smack you in the face with the whipped cream. This sounds like the most terrible idea to a game that I would want to avoid forever, but you might guess who loves this game, and yes, it's our daughter Carly. So that day, she's now 8 years old, and she's the first one to get up to play the game. And I swear she draws a number 5 from the card deck, but I see her turning, and she's turning and turning, and she goes past 5 to the point when the lever comes up, smacks her in the face, and she's got whipped cream all over her. So within 30 seconds of starting this game, this child is literally covered head to toe in whipped cream. And a couple minutes later, I look over, and my friend Matt, who is a dad of one of the kids at the party, is standing over my child with the can of whipped cream, her mouth open and tilted, and he's squirting the whipped cream into her mouth. And again, I have that huge urge to say, "Play nice." Same internal battle, same decision to stay quiet. So the game ends, the kids go outside, and Kurt, my husband, and I are sitting with Matt, our friend, in the kitchen. And Matt goes, "Who did Carly get this wild side from?" And I chuckled to myself because it reminded me of a memory that I have with my friend Matt. So let me just take you there, and then we'll come back to the kitchen. So Matt and I have been friends for life. We grew up on the same street, he and his brother, me and my sister. And Matt and my sister actually went to college together. When they were seniors at college, they had a siblings weekend. And I had already graduated from my college, but I decided to go and visit them. We had a little reunion. So it was all four of us from the neighborhood together. And that weekend, my sister had a party at the house that she lived in. And we were all there. We were having a great time. It was a lot of fun, but apparently at 22, I just couldn't quite hang with the college kids anymore. So it was about 3 a.m. rolled around, or it could have even been like closer to 5 a.m. And I decided the party had to end. So I went up to everybody at the party and I was like, thanks for coming, but party's over. Good night. We'll see you later. Thanks for coming. Bye. Party's over. Did this work? No. Did not. Everyone was like, who is this crazy girl that's here? But it did earn me a nickname, and that nickname that I earned that night was Grandma. And Matt and his brother have called me Grandma ever since that night. Okay, so take us back to the kitchen with Kurt and me and our friend Matt. Matt says, where did Carly get her wild side from? Kurt looks at me and says, definitely not from me. And I look at Matt and say, you're the one that calls me Grandma, remember? So it's funny, but it is a question that Kurt and I have asked ourselves since the day our child was born. And it's interesting because strangers even ask us this too, like, where does she get this personality from? And I think it's important to me because I work in the field of genetics as a genetic counselor. And so what we strive to do as genetic counselors is to take big data and numbers and probabilities and boil it down and give really, hopefully, helpful information to patients and families so they can make decisions about their genetic health. So, of course, when we were pregnant with Carly, I'm thinking, well, I have brown eyes, he has blue, she'll have brown eyes because it's dominant. He's tall, I'm not so tall, she'll be somewhere in the middle. And then her personality will probably be a mix of ours. I mean, I'm a bit animated and driven, and Kurt's more reserved and kind and sweet. Well, I mean, maybe those traits are there, but they're a little hard for us to see. She got the brown eyes, and she's going to be taller than me for sure. But this personality question is still one that I'm thinking about all the time. And I do think it relates back to this idea of genetics. So we're trying to give all of this information to patients, right, and help them to make informed decisions. And one thing that we always say is that we cannot make a prediction with 100% certainty. There will always be outliers. And so I think what happened is that I'm the mother to one such outlier. Thank you.